Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? I know we're a little bit late tonight, but I've been busy today and watching all the news, um, the updates on the Audrii Cunningham case. Tragic ending. Unfortunately, we'd have been hoping for the best, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So, I've been watching other creators. I watched everybody was streaming the press conference earlier when it was on live, so I've been watching some other creators and then trying to get a little slideshow and some stuff together to give to you guys tonight. That may not have seen it or are a night owl like I am right now and are up and need something to do or whatever. So if it's your first time here, thanks for dropping in and spending some time with me for a little bit. I usually share missing persons, cold cases, some true crime in the news like we're going to talk about tonight. Most of the cases, the missing persons and cold cases I share are lesser known ones. They're not the ones that get the national attention. And not that those aren't important and not that I don't care about them, but there are so many cases that do not get national attention. They don't even get local attention that they need. So I just try to bring awareness to all those cases. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Like, share, comment. You guys know the drill. All those things help small channels like mine reach more people to get this important information out. And we're waiting for some more people to come in. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page. I do post stuff in the group and on the page that I don't put here on YouTube, so definitely check it out. If you have any questions, comments, if you have a case that is dear to your heart, maybe you know anybody involved or it happened in your hometown, your home state, email it to me at the email address you see there on the screen. The victim's name, the state it was in, any information you have, and I will research it and do the best I can to find all the information I can about it, and I will share it for you. If you would like to help support the channel and the search for the missing, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account, a PayPal Me account, Southern Gal True Crime merchandise. You can find all those links in the About section of the page. And a portion of all donations and merchandise sold does go to a nonprofit organization of some other creators and behind the scenes people that go out and help families free of charge, try to find their missing loved ones. They work on cold cases, try to get some closure for families. So like I said, any donation, a portion of any donations and merch sold will go to that very worthy nonprofit. All right, I think that is all my shameless plugging I've got. Let's see, I take that down. Let's see what we got going on. Hey, Dandy. Dandy Linus is here, my right-hand gal. Thank you, Dandy. Dandy says, my heart is in my stomach for Audrii. I know when I can't say. I mean, I was trying. I was holding out hope, that little bit of hope. But the longer it went on, and all the information that was coming out, and then when they started, searching the waterways and everything, and then the person of interest, or instead of the POI, I call them the POS. But anyway, um, I can think of a lot worse words, but I get thrown off YouTube. But I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so the longer it went on, unfortunately, I was, and then of course I woke up when I finally got out of bed today or this morning, late morning, and I was checking out stuff, and notifications kept coming up that sorry, notifications are coming up on my phone screen. Anyway, I got the YouTube notifications that these other creators that I watch are going live with the breaking news about Audrii maybe being found, and yeah, I got that sinking feeling in my stomach too, Dandy. So of course I went and I watched. There were a lot of creators streaming, but I went and watched Chris from the Mob Crew streamed the press conference they had, so I watched him. Participated in that chat. So sad. So I just kind of, like I said, threw together a little. I got a timeline, some information on, or I got the Don Stephen McDougal, the person of interest suspect that has been arrested and will probably be charged with a capital M. He has an extensive criminal history, so I've got a criminal list of his criminal history. I've got the press conference, and if you guys haven't heard the 911 call that was made when she was first reported missing, I've got that too. I'll let you listen to that. Um, let's see, what else do we got? Thank you, Dandy. Yeah, Dandy's putting my links and stuff in. Like I said, any portion of all donations or merchandise sold goes to the very, very worthy cause that I was talking about earlier. So please do check it out. So thank you, Dandy, for putting my links and stuff in. All right, so we will get started. First, before we get into poor little Audrii's case, we did have a missing teen that they put an alert out for. It's not an Amber Alert, it's a missing teen alert of Adeline Ramirez. She went missing from Little Rock, Arkansas. And let me pull up the information while I'm reading this. I think okay, here is the article. And this information comes from thv11.com, which is one of our local news station websites. And a search underway for North Little Rock juvenile. The North Little Rock Police Department is looking for the whereabouts of a 14-year-old. Sorry, I'm trying to swat ads over here. 14-year-old juvenile last seen on January 28th near the Levy area, which is in North Little Rock, Central Arkansas. North Little Rock Police Department is searching for the whereabouts of a 14-year-old runaway juvenile last seen on January 28th. Police said Adeline Ramirez is 5'1", 135 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair. She was last known to be in the Levy area in North Little Rock wearing red pajama pants and a black shirt. So if you happen to be in the Arkansas area, or even if you're not, if you don't share anything else, please share this. I will put a link to it in the comments section and the description box after the stream is over. So if you have any information about Adeline's possible whereabouts, please call the local police department or Detective Ashley Knoll at 501-771-7154 or 501-680-8439. And it says callers can remain anonymous. So I usually find that when I say callers can remain anonymous, that usually, like I said, she was a runaway. And with runaways, sometimes people just don't want to give any information. Um, but hopefully, they will find her and bring her. All right. And Dandy, I know earlier, Dandy says, I can't throw judgment on anyone. I don't know what's going on, but the pedo is sus AF. Yes. And yeah, I'm going to, did a lot of, usually I try to make it really, kind of professional looking slideshows, but I was in such a hurry tonight. I just kind of took screenshots of stuff and put it in slides. But yeah, I found a website, and I'll put, when I edit it and I'll put in all the links to all the sources I use. But I found a site that listed all his, well, it was all of it, but a lot of his criminal history starting from, I think, 2001. Yeah, this guy's a real piece of work. And I just, I'm like you, I'm not blaming or judging, but how this POS could have been allowed to be around Audrey, much less any other child, is just beyond. Oh, good. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute, Danny. Excellent. But yes, I'd have. It's beyond me how this man could be allowed to be around any children, whether and he was not. And we'll go into. There's been a lot of question too about why he was not, because he was convicted of enticement of a minor. And so but he was not required to be a registered SO offender. So it's been brought up a lot in a lot of the live streams that I was in today about how could he not be required to register as an SO when he had been convicted of enticement of a child or enticement of a minor. And I went and I did find the definition of what enticement of a minor is and what level of felony it is. But so I'll share a little bit of that because I don't understand it either. To me, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, if you do anything inappropriate regarding a child or anybody, but when it comes to children, in my opinion, you should have to be registered. But anyway, that is just my opinion, but I think it is the opinion or the question of a lot of people out there, why he was not required to be registered. Okay, so Dandy says, good news. The girl from Galveston from Dave's stream was found in a traffic stop. Good, 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 good. Fantastic. Yeah, I was gonna tell you before I read that if you wanted to, like you did in Dave's live earlier, put the information in, I would put it up on the screen. But thank goodness she has been found. Hopefully she's okay. So good news, good news. And yes, he is sadistic. Yes, it's just beyond me. And I'm gonna have to do some. I'm sure of course, we're gonna have to wait to get more details about everything. But horrible, horrible, horrible case. All right, let's see. Next. So, okay, like I said, that we're going to be talking about that. I think I went over most of what we're going to go through. So, to begin with, just a little bit of for anybody who may be watching now or watching the replay, just go through a brief timeline if you're not familiar with the case. And I found this from Fox 26 Houston website. So on February 15th, an Amber Alert was issued for 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham. She was reported to have not made it on the school bus Thursday morning, and the family says she left for the bus stop at 7 a.m. So, in my opinion, I have questions about this. And please let me know, anybody watching replay. And like I said, I don't know. This is just my opinion, speculation. I have a feeling, because I've heard that she did get on the bus, she didn't get on the bus. Conflicting reports, as always, when information first comes out. I would not be surprised if, and I could be totally wrong, and like I said, this is just my opinion, my speculation. I would not be surprised if she was not already deceased either the day or the night before, at least. Now, that's, like I said, that's just my opinion, but just talking with other people in chat earlier, that a lot of people have that opinion or question too, is if possibly she could have already, something happened to her the day before or that night before she was reported missing on the 15th. So anyway, like I said, let me know what you guys think. So on the 16th, Polk County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Public Safety and other law enforcement agencies did search Lake Livingston off of FM 3278. And this, I believe, is not where they found her, but from just maps that I've seen that other creators, I'm gonna have to get a better get some Wi-Fi so I can do map time and all that stuff. But anyway, where she lived was very close to this Lake Livingston, so with bodies of water, and then you have a child go missing, that's usually the first thing they're going to do is search the water. Of course, she wasn't there. On February 17th, the Texas DPS released an image of a 2003 blue Chevy Suburban, believed to be a vehicle of interest. And authorities also announced that they had found a child's backpack believed to be Audrii's near a river. Also on February 17th, Don Stephen McDougal, 42, was announced as a person of interest. Officials said that he was a friend of Audrii's father and was allowed to live in a trailer behind their house. He was arrested on that Friday for an unrelated aggravated assault charge. So I'm thinking that because if I remember correctly, that this thing he was arrested on had happened a few months before. And sometimes if police have a person of interest in a case and they want to bring them in to kind of question them or get a feel for if he had anything to do, or just to keep him in custody so maybe he won't flee. If they have a warrant or something that they can arrest them on, they will arrest them. And while they're working on, like Audrii's case, I don't know if that was the case, but I just have an inkling, a feeling that it was. Then on February 18th, new video showed that McDougal was being questioned by officers in Livingston on Friday. I was going to try to snag that video too, but I forgot about that one. But anyway, you can search on Google or YouTube, and it will bring it up. On February 19th, Don Stephen McDougal did admit to Polk County officials that he left the house with Audrii on the day she went missing. Like I said, I still, that could be the case, but I still have questions, in the back of my mind about maybe she could possibly have already been deceased before then. And then, unfortunately, today, February 20th, or maybe it's yesterday now. I don't know what time it is. Almost midnight here in Central U.S. time. But unfortunately, Audrii was found deceased in the Trinity River on U.S. Highway 59 near Livingston, Texas. And Don Stephen McDougal faces, will most likely face capital homicide charges. So that is the timeline. And just got a, excuse me, got an article I'm going to read a little bit of information from. If I can keep my voice from going out on me. So this is from ABC 13 website. It is from today, late morning today. And it says 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham's body found in Trinity River, Polk County Sheriff says. Search crews found the body of 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham, and authorities expected to charge a suspect who lived just behind her home in connection with her disappearance. On Tuesday, authorities announced a search area for Audrii was declared a crime scene, and shortly after, officials confirmed that they had located her body. According to Texas Department of Public Safety Lieutenant Craig Cummings, the crime scene included an area around US 59 and the Trinity River Bridge. During an afternoon press conference, officials said they had the Trinity River Authority lower water levels to search to find the body. And Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons, who is, when you watch if you haven't seen the press conference, I'm going to show it here in a minute. This Sheriff Lyons, in my opinion, is an outstanding sheriff. He has done, from all the press conferences that I've seen on this case, he has done an outstanding job at explaining things, what they can say, what they can't say, what is happening. So just kudos to Sheriff Lyons and everybody else involved. But he is an excellent representative spokesperson. So kudos. So he says, my heart aches with the news, and I express my deepest sympathies and condolences, said Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons as he announced the tragic discovery. Lyons did not disclose the condition of Audrii's body, which the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences received for the autopsy. On Tuesday night, the community held a private prayer vigil at the Livingston VFW post. She was really important to the community of Livingston, Elizabeth Cobes said afterward. She says it's just heartbreaking. Absolutely. So horrible. Audrii had been missing since Thursday, February 15th, when, according to authorities, she did not make it to her school bus that morning. Don Stephen McDougal, first named as a primary person of interest in the case, is now a suspect, and the district attorney expects capital homicide charges to be filed against him. You can see on the slide there, in the middle there is the person, the suspect. Polk County District Attorney Shelley Sitton said they are preparing the appropriate arrest warrants for McDougal, and that he faces a capital homicide charge. McDougal was said to be a friend of Audrii's father, allowed to live in a trailer behind their Livingston house. According to Lyons, McDougal admitted to leaving the house with Audrii the morning she disappeared, but would not tell investigators what happened next. According to Sheriff Lyons, at the press conference, he says, we believe there is enough evidence to arrest, charge, prosecute McDougal. Newly obtained criminal records show McDougal was indicted on attempted indecency with a child 17 years ago in Brazoria County, which, according to legal analyst Anthony Oso Jr., would have required him to register as an SO. However, McDougal pleaded down to child enticement in 2008. Apparently, the charge of child enticement does not require a person to be registered as an SO. So I don't know. So that kind of explains now why he wasn't required to register, but I don't know what happened that let him plea it down. And like I said earlier, in my opinion, anything to do with inappropriacy with a child should be you should have to be required to register. But that's just my opinion. I don't make the laws. But so according to records, on March 31st, 2007, McDougal, quote, attempted, and trigger warning a little bit here. McDougal, quote, attempted to remove a child's pants after getting in bed with her. To me, in my opinion, like I said, okay, so it was first a indecency. So that was the indecency, what he did. And they let him plea it down or bargain down, whatever they did, to enticement. Because I was wondering, because anybody who's watched my channel before, in the Morgan Nick case, the prime suspect, person of interest in the Morgan Nick case was Billy Jack Links. And he had been convicted of indecency, and he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. So, but like I said, he was charged with indecency, but pleaded down or whatever to enticement. So that's why he was not in prison and was not required to register. So additionally, according to online records, McDougal has a criminal history that goes back 2 decades and includes more than a dozen arrests. And like I said earlier, we're going to go through quickly his lengthy record. ABC 13 also learned on Tuesday that McDougal was seen at a mechanic shop near Highway 59 in Livingston the day Audrey went missing. And according to workers at this shop, they said, or they told Eyewitness News off camera, that McDougal was there trying to get a part for his blue Chevy Suburban. And they said that he was filthy, covered in dirt, and acting suspicious. Following Audrey's disappearance, Lyons said McDougal agreed to take investigators to several locations, including the Livingston Dam. I think that is the first place when this first broke, the first place that they were showing where they were searching, and is where investigators discovered what they believed to be Audrey's backpack. Authorities were being very cautious with the information McDougal gave them, Lyons said, stressing that McDougal has not confessed to anything concerning Audrey's disappearance. McDougal is currently in the Polk County Jail on an unrelated aggravated assault charge. He was taken into custody around 11 p.m. on Friday. And a video obtained by ABC 13 shows him talking to officers outside a shopping plaza before that arrest. Investigators also asked the public on Monday to share a video of FM 3126 on a Thursday, February 15th, between 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. When I say this FM 3126, I'm assuming that that's what they call their road systems. I'm not familiar with that term, but anyway, so investigators believe McDougal left the house with Audrey at around 6:30 a.m. and were specifically interested in a video of his 2003 blue Chevy Suburban. On Monday, authorities increased the reward amount for information leading to an arrest and conviction in the case from $7,000 to $10,000. And they said that we will continue to process the evidence that has been gathered to ensure the justice for Audrii. So that was just a little bit of information about McDougal. Yep, Dandeliana says Audrii is up there playing with the other children, lost too soon. Absolutely. Yep, all those poor little babies. Yep. Dandy also says he pled down. Yeah. It just I do not understand. To me, once again, just my opinion. In my opinion, there needs to be stiffer penalties or something for any kind of indecency that involves a child. Like I said, I'm fixing to show, I believe, I'll go ahead and show the press conference. It's about a 9-minute video. So I'm probably going to mute my camera and my mic, so you guys can hear it, and then we'll go over the Mr. McDougal's arrest record, lengthy arrest history, criminal history, and then I have the 911 call. Now the videos are just screen recorded off of my phone, so they're not the best quality, but they're clear enough, and hopefully they'll be loud enough where you can hear them, because I tried to go through sharing pages and just doing it from the websites, but just going through my phone with my Wi-Fi hotspot, it wouldn't work, so I just screen recorded them. But anyway, so I will play the press conference video, and if anybody has any questions or comments during the when I'm showing the video, I'll pop them up on the screen. But I'm going to mute and take off my cam for right now. So, go out and do it.
Like that. Let's go to that newser now.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I want to first start by thanking the media for helping us with the coverage over Audrii, over her missing. Your help has been immensely appreciated. It has been great. I want to thank again everyone who has been engaged in the efforts to find Audrii, from the investigators to the volunteers who have spent countless hours in hopes of finding her, and to the community members who have been here supporting us since day one. I also want to say thank you to Trinity River Authority for lowering the water levels so that the divers could reach areas of interest. But at this time, I sadly announced that Audrii's body was located at the Trinity River on the U.S. Highway 59. As a result of today's developments, I will discontinue the Amber Alert for Audrii, and I want to thank DPS, Department of Public Safety, for all their help in this alert. The information that we have gathered in this criminal investigation is substantial. The Polk County Sheriff's Office investigators, the Livingston Police Department, and the Texas Rangers, the game wardens, the FBI, Harris County Sheriff's Office, the San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office in Trinity County and Liberty County. It's just an outpouring of love from all of our law enforcement partners. My heart aches with this news, and I express with my deepest sympathies and condolences to everyone who knew, who cared for, and loved Audrii. The Sheriff's Office, we will continue to process the evidence that has been gathered to ensure that the justice for Audrii. And at this time, I will turn the podium over to the Polk County District Attorney, Ms. Shelley Sutton.
Thank you, Byron. My name is Shelley Sitton, and I am your Polk County District Attorney. I just want to take a few moments to explain how we're going to move forward from here. Based on all of the evidence that law enforcement has collected, they are in the process of preparing the appropriate arrest warrants for Don Stephen McDougal. At this time, we believe the appropriate arrest warrant is going to be for capital murder in the death of Audrii Cunningham. He is currently still in jail under an unrelated felony charge here. I understand that this is a very difficult time for Audrii's family and for our community. The substantial law enforcement resources that were marshaled by the Sheriff Lyons, I think, should show you that this county and law enforcement, they will come out when they need to protect our children. And the assets that we have been made available to Polk County to protect our children have been substantial. And at this point, as Sheriff Lyons said, he'll continue to collect the evidence and process that. The District Attorney's Office is going to stand right beside them and follow through. And we promise that you can assure that the District Attorney's Office will be just as dedicated to this case as every one of these law enforcement officers that are standing behind you to do what is right for Audrii and bring justice to our community. Thank you. At this time, if you've got some questions, we'll open it up to a few questions.
Any indication of how Audrii was killed?
I cannot speak to that.
At this time right now, we have transported Audrii down to the Harris County Medical Examiner's Office. At that time, we will await their results to be able to determine the cause and method of her death.
But evidence suggests murder.
We believe that there is enough evidence, yes.
Yes.
Can you tell us did Don Stephen McDougal lead you to that location on the river where you found her body? Did he tell you where to find her?
There was evidence that we was collecting through the cell phone analysis, as well as through our videos that we were able to collect, and some of the information that we received from him, we were able to pinpoint and said there were several points of interest that was turned over to us, so that we were able to develop. And thank goodness, and by the grace of God, one of those places of interest we were able to locate.
As I understand it,
what evidence links McDougal to the murder?
Evidence, and right now, folks, when we start talking about how we're linking evidence to McDougal and linking evidence to this case, we want to be very careful on how we do that. I would feel safe to say this, is that there is substantial evidence through the evidence that we've gathered, and some of that evidence was even gathered by the wonderful witnesses and wonderful folks out there in the social media who sent us videos, who sent us pictures. Some of that, even that evidence helped us to be able to come up with these locations, as well as the evidence from cell phones and as videos to pinpoint these locations.
Can you tell us if this is the 11-year-old's body and if she was dressed?
At this point right now, until we get all our information back from the medical examiner's office, we don't want to release any information concerning Audrii and condition of her body.
Sheriff, what directed you to that portion of I-59 and the Trinity River? What directed you to that area of I-59 and the Trinity River?
That area is one of the first areas of our concern points of interest when we started our search on Friday, or midday Friday. And again, that's going to be developed from some of the evidence. And then, yes, there was some points where he did give information, because there were several places that he said that he had went. So it wasn't a location where he said he took her, but there was a incidents where he said these were locations where he had gone.
Without this evidence that you talk about, would you have been able to find her where you found her? Without the evidence that you just described?
Yes.
You would have found her there?
We would have found her not through him, but we would have found it through the evidence that we collected from the analysis from phones and videos would have, yes.
Was she visible to the naked eye?
You used a sonar boat. Texas Equisearch was out with their sonar boat scanning the bottom of the river for her body. They are the ones that discovered the body, is that correct?
No.
The image?
I'm not going to say who exactly or what agency discovered her body today. I will say this, that due to the lowering, we were able to contact TRA, Trinity River Authority. They slowed down the outflow from the reservoir, and it allowed the water to go down, and her body was discovered there in the water. But I'm not going to say whether it was Harris County or Montgomery County or EchoSearch. It was a conglomeration of a lot of love and law enforcement networking together that helped discover her.
Sources have told us, though, that Stephen McDougal was the one that told you to lower the river, lower the level of the river. We've been told that he actually told you to lower the water on the river. Is that true?
We talked to TRA on several occasions about lowering it when they got to the point, or they felt they were safe to start lowering the river. We were able to get them to do so. Whether or not Mr. McDougal gave us information on lowering the river or not to be able to locate her, that's information that we do not want to release at this time.
One more question. One more question.
Is there any evidence that location, McDougal told you guys that was one of the locations where he went from?
He did advise that was one of the locations that he had gone. Not that he was saying that she was there or any other location, but we know that he went there as well.
Sheriff, did he kill her immediately? Until we get all of the evidence and all the autopsy reports, we're going to have to hold and work with law enforcement to determine what is the best solution to this case. If the evidence supports that, that is something that we're going to look into.
Is there any evidence she was held somewhere else, or was she killed pretty much the day that she disappeared?
We do not have any evidence at this time that's showing that where she may have been held somewhere else. But again, we are still processing mounds and mounds of information and data. Mr. Bob, last question.
Is there any evidence that there was anything used to keep the body underwater?
That is information at this time that we do not want to release.
Do you have an approximate time frame for when her body?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all
have
for
been
all that
listening
you've done
to this news.
All right, that was the news conference from earlier. Like I said, I really like that bigger so I can see it. The sheriff does a really good job in all the press conferences that I've seen him do since this case broke. Really good job handling the questions, because to me, those reporters, and that's their job, but in my opinion, those reporters were asking some questioning them about who, because one of them asked or said that they'd heard rumors that McDougal was the one that suggested to lower the water, and that the EchoSearch found, did the sonar, and that could be true, because he did say that they weren't going to release that information. And then the one question that I think that they asked was she dressed or undressed when she was found? I cannot believe they asked that, but anyway, that's just my opinion. You guys let me know in a chat or comments if you're watching replay what you guys think. What we got going next? All right, so now we're going to take a look at Don Stephen McDougal's lengthy criminal history. And this is the suspect has been arrested, most likely will be charged with capital homicide. He is quite a character. So starting in 2001, he was charged with possession of a substance after being arrested by Cleveland Police Department. In 2002, he was sentenced to 5 years for assault of a public servant. In 2003, he was arrested for possession of a dangerous substance and sentenced to 4 months. And in February of 2003, he did receive a 3-year sentence for assault of a public servant out of Liberty County. And I'm assuming all these places are in Texas, but I'm not 100% sure on that. In July 2003, once again, he was charged with possession of marijuana. September of 2005, he was arrested in Harris County and charged with evading arrest or detention. In February of 2006, he received an 8-month sentence for theft of more than $1,500, but less than $20,000 out of Harris County. And 7 days later, on February 15th of 2006, he received a 180-day sentence for possession of meth less than 1 gram. And fast forward to March of 2007, he received a 2-year sentence for enticing a child out of Brazoria County. I think that is the charge in question about why he did not have to register as an SO. In July of 2009, he received a 180-day sentence for unauthorized use of a vehicle in Harris County. In February of 2010, he was arrested and later sentenced to 4 years for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon out of Harris County. I think they kind of got these a little bit out of order, so I'm going to read from bottom to top. In July of 2014, he was arrested again and sentenced to 30 days for reckless driving. In April of 2014, he was arrested and sentenced to 30 days for theft of property less than $500. Then in September of 2020, he received a 2-year sentence for unauthorized use of a vehicle in Liberty County. He was released on September 12th, 2022 after completing his sentence. In 2019, he was arrested and sentenced to 9 months for assault causing bodily injury. So he has a lot of assault charges. In 2020, he was arrested in Harris County on a harassment charge. And then in September of 2023, he was arrested by the Conroe Police Department and charged with resisting arrest, search, or transportation. And he appeared in court on December 19th of 2023, and he pled guilty. So that is his lengthy record. So now this is I found this, and I will put a link to it. This is it was from a law site from Colorado. So I don't know if this is the same, this enticement of a child is the same in nationwide in all states, or if the charges and penalties and the level of felony is the same. But according to Colorado law, enticement of a child is when a person commits the crime of enticement of a child if he or she invites or persuades or attempts to invite or persuade a child under the age of 15 years old to enter any vehicle, building, room, or secluded place with the intent to commit assault or unlawful contact upon the said child. It is not necessary to prosecution for an attempt under this subsection that the child have perceived the defendant's act of enticement. So I'm not a lawyer, but maybe if just the last part said that if the child, it is perceived by the child to be something not right, then they could be charged with enticement of a child. So enticement of a child is a class 4 felony. It is a class 3 felony if the defendant has a previous conviction for enticement or SA on a child, or for conspiracy to commit or the attempted commission of either offense, or if the enticement results in bodily injury to the child. And it does say when a person is convicted or pleads nolo contendere or receives a deferred sentence for a violation of the provisions of this section, and the court knows the person is a current or former employee of a school district in this state, which is Colorado, or holds a license or authorization pursuant to the provisions, that the court will report such fact to the Department of Education. So at least there's that. Like I said, apparently if you're just charged with enticement, you're not required to register as an SO. All right. I'm going to play the 911 call for anybody who hasn't heard it. Pay close attention to what is said, what is alleged about the mother. In my opinion, I don't believe it. I think, in my opinion, this was part of a setup. But I will let you listen to it and make your own decision. So I'll take that down for a second.
And never made it on the bus and has not been seen since. 826. Female is about approximately 4'11", 86 pounds, blonde hair, long hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a dark colored jacket.
Good. Good.
A public service you, her address and his phone number.
What time is this call?
1700.
To a missing juvenile. Called in from the county. They want us to check that address and see if she's there. It's supposed to be the mom's address. Mom does not have custody of her, has never had custody of her, and has made threats recently to kidnap her.
Hey, if you text me if you have the mom's information so I can just let me have.
That's clear, sir. I'll send you over there.
All right, that was the video or the 911 call. So as you heard there, and I had not heard this until I think when I was watching Chris from the Mob Crew when he was doing his live for the press conference before the press conference started. He had played that, and if you heard it, I hope you could hear it okay. They wanted whoever had made the call, and I don't know if they've ever said who actually made the 911 call to report her missing. That they wanted the authorities, the law enforcement, to check the mother's house because allegedly, according to them, the mother did not have custody of Audrii and had threatened to kidnap her before. Like I said, in my opinion, I don't believe that. I think this was a part of a plan to set the mom up, along with the text messages that McDougal had sent between the mom and McDougal. He was trying to set up because allegedly, the father did not, for some reason or another, and I don't know why, the mom did not have custody of Audrii. But apparently, the father would not let the mother be anywhere near Audrii, see her, talk to her. So that's why allegedly this McDougal had sent these text messages trying to set up a secret meeting with the mom. And like I said, I think with all that and with what they said about she had threatened to kidnap her. Like I said, this is just my opinion, but in my opinion, I think they were just trying to set up the mom or at the very least divert attention away from McDougal. He was trying to divert attention away from himself. But I don't know. It's just so heartbreaking, so horrible. But at least they have found her. They can bring her home. And hopefully McDougal has been arrested. Most likely will be charged, they said, with capital homicide. And if he is the offender, right now alleged, that he will get what's coming to him. So if anybody has any questions, comments, thoughts, throw them in chat. before we get ready to get out of here. I know it's late for a lot of y'all, but then again, some of you are night owls like I am apparently right now. So, I think that is all I had. I'm just going through everything I have. Make sure I didn't have anything else, any other articles bookmarked. I think that's all I had. All right. All right. If nobody has any questions, comments, thank you, Dandy, for being here. Anybody else who is lurking and watching, thank you for being here. Anybody watching on replay, thank you so much. Please be sure to hit that like button before you leave. Help all the likes, shares, and comments on small channels like mine help get this important information out to as many people as possible. That has always been, always will be the goal of this channel is to bring awareness to cases like this, cases that don't get this attention, this well-deserved attention, but nonetheless, there are other cases out there that you never hear about, and those are the ones I try to research and find and bring to you guys. So, like I said earlier, if you found this information interesting, informative, please consider subscribing, like, share, comment. You guys know the drill. So I appreciate everybody being here, watching replay. And I will probably be back Friday, either a video or a live stream for my case of the week. I still have to figure out what my case of the week is going to be for this week. But until then, everybody take care of yourselves, take care of each other, be careful out there, and I will see you Friday. Thanks, guys. Bye.